Good evening, gentlemen. This is going to be a different video than what I originally wanted to upload. My next video that I've been planning on, or I'm actually working on right now, is going to be a review on Payday 3. And I don't know when the video is going to be coming out because it's going to be like a 40-minute long video. Yes, I know it's going to be a long video, but I'm just giving my own thought on the game itself. I'm not going to spoil anything so far. All I can say is like I'm working on it, but when is it gonna come out? I don't know because there's two things that are like really messing up my schedule. One is I'm focusing on school. Well, not really focusing on, but like school is kind of like really making things more slow to say. It's like it just makes every day just feel so dull and shit. And secondly, I'm trying to get my driver's license, and so I'm kind of studying a little bit and just trying to get it as quick as possible. And so that's where I've been so far. So as an apology, I'm just gonna make my own tier list on the Payday 2 Heisters, based on like how I like them, on their personality and voices and shit. And so, of course, this is up to my own interpretation. This is my own opinion. If you have a thought, I don't just put it in the comments. There will be a couple of things that people are gonna disagree heavily, but I don't really fucking care. But hey, whatever. And so that's where I've been for the past like a week. Normally after a week I would upload a video, but like I'm working on a bigger video. And it's gonna take a while. So this is my first time doing a review on a specific game, and so it's gonna take a while for me to actually like organize shit. Although the video itself is gonna be a little bit unorganized, so please forgive me. And so, while you guys are like desperately waiting for me to upload another video, enjoy this little one. So let's start off with from the bottom section, bottom right. Sangres as a character is an interesting one because he's the only Mexican one in the game, to say the least. He has a very interesting personality and very funny, and his base design itself and the mask himself, or like the mask itself, is an extremely good design. The voice actor that gave him a voice did an amazing job at portraying him. He's this serious yet he's this basically like serious yet comedic heister that sure, despite him being a hitman and a very serious person, but he does have his own little moments where he acts a bit comedic and shit. And overall, I just like his personality and everything. He's not perfect, no, but like he deserves to be an A tier. Ooh, it's gonna be tough because Wolf in Payday 2 is not my favorite character. I don't like him at all because sure, people are going to say, well, the voice actor is a bit of a douchebag, and so he probably shouldn't be this low in the tier list. Well, he should because well, he doesn't really have any voice line. Well, he doesn't really have that many voice lines, and so it kind of gets repetitive eventually. I understand why a lot of people like him because of his nostalgic, and I understand that his personality is this fucking fucked up psychopathic Swedish dude and shit, but on Payday 3, he's much. If this was Payday 3, I would honestly put him in S tier. But because this is Payday 2 we're talking about, I'm putting him in C tier. He's boring. He doesn't really have that much voice lines. Dallas is an instant A tier for me. He's not perfect because he's not the type of person that really screams a lot. And for me, I generally like heisters that scream, but not like constant screaming, you know? I don't want like I like someone that is like loud, but not annoyingly loud. Like you understand what I'm saying? Look at Sydney as an example. She's an annoying little bitch. But hey, or whatever. Dallas is of course Dallas. He's the most iconic person in the game. Anybody can fucking recognize him by the mask. He has a good personality. He's calm. He's very well, he's not exactly stoic, but he's calm. He's a mindful person that has the capability of being smart and yet, well, I can't really say comforting, but he's a mastermind to say at least. Like he's able to plan out everything in a short duration, and he's the leader of the Payday gang. And the voice actor did a great job of voicing him, and he's a kind of character. But I'm putting him above Sangres because he's a very great character. Jimmy, oh boy. An absolute chaotic man, literally, I love this man. He's, actually, no, I'm putting him in S tier. he's in perfect character. He's loud, but he's not like obnoxiously loud. Homie is literally 70% cocaine instead of water. His fucking body literally relies on cocaine 90% of the time, and so he literally rambles like a fucking maniac, and so just hearing him screaming at distance and shit is interesting. He has a loud personality, but like it's not obnoxiously loud to say the least. And so I do genuinely like his model, his mask, and his personality and his clothing. I like everything about him. He's perfect. You know what? Do I put Dallas in S tier? Yeah, fuck it. Chains. Chains is another S tier. He's fucking amazing. He talks fast. He is energetic as shit, and he's a very, despite him being a military dude, precisely being in the Navy SEALs, there's somewhat actually a calm person, but at the same time he has this reckless behavior where he wants to cause the highest amount of chaos as quick as possible. He's the muscle of the group, basically. He's the big boy. You want someone that can pack the highest punch, you look at Chains. Overall, he has a good voice. Everything about him is absolutely incredible. I'm going to ignore you for now, but let's put Dallas, his younger brother, next to him, next to the older brother. Basically, brother and brother. Basically, they're probably like fucking giving themselves like brofist or shit. Jesus Christ, brofist. This is in 2015. Why am I like this? I need to stop taking too much caffeine. Houston is my second favorite character of all time. Even if people don't really don't like him that well, he's a very simple character, but at the same time, like he's a very good one as well. He's a serious character. He's probably one of the most serious one out of all the other heisters, because of course, he's the younger brother of of the Steel family, and so it kind of makes sense for him to be serious. It's always the older brothers are like more calm, and the younger ones are more fucking erratic. And so it makes sense for you, Houston, to be more serious and be the sneaky one. And so I like his more calmer type voice, because unlike the others where they're like constantly screaming and shit, Houston is much more serious and he's like straight to the point. He doesn't make like fancy fucking or he doesn't talk like fancy or be a philosopher and whip out like a 10-word fucking word or some shit. He's very simple and always is straight to the point. Tony, do I really need to say anything about him? It's fucking Tony Montana, come on. The voice actor who portrayed him in my Scarface video did an amazing job at portraying him, and he's fucking badass. Hoxton is... I prefer Houston more than Hoxton. I know a lot of people prefer him because, well, he's been in Payday the Heist, the first one, and so I do genuinely like Hoxton's personality, being this cocky British person. I mean, it makes sense because he's fucking from Sheffield. Does that even surprise anyone? But, like, I don't really like him that much. I would most likely put him in A tier, but I can understand why people are going to be pissed at me for putting him there, because, well, I don't really like his personality, to say at least. He definitely improved in Payday 3, like, he's more cockier than in the second game, in my opinion, but, like, I don't know, it's kind of hard for me to really explain it properly, but he's not cocky enough. He tries to be cocky, but he's not cocky enough to say at least, because there aren't really many voice lines where he's like acting this big tough guy, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Jiro is an immediate S tier. He's a fucking like 60-year-old turtle that just like screams in Japanese. I know I don't understand what the fuck he's saying, but I am enjoying it nonetheless. And even in stealthy sections where you're supposed to be speaking English to the command center, for some reason the guard's like, yeah, he's fine. Jimmy's just learning Japanese so he can go to an anime convention. It's just like, what the fuck? It's like sometimes it makes you wonder, what are the guards exactly thinking when they hear a Japanese man rambling about something from a radio? Normally, a sensible person would fucking send off the entire military to check it out, but they're like, nah, it's fine. And yeah, Jiro is a fantastic character that I genuinely like. Clover, I'm a little bit mixed on this one. I understand that a lot of people like Clover, but I'm not a huge fan of her, to say at least. I can't really give out a proper explanation of why I don't like her, to say at least, but she's a hothead, to say the least. She's a loudmouth. It's like Jimmy's a loudmouth for a reason because he's fucking overwhelmed with cocaine. But like Clover, I don't know. I just don't really like her that much. She does deserve to be an A, and so Sokol. This is tough. This is really tough for me. I want to put him in A tier because he has a funny accent, but at the same time, he's not really special, to say the least. Of course, because he's Russian and he has a thick accent, it kind of makes sense for him to be not be a like a person that is communicative enough. But like for me, he's not really. He's more quiet than the rest of the heisters, but at the same time, I do like his voice actor. Don't get me wrong, the voice actor did amazing, but like I don't really know if I like his voice lines in Payday 2. Duke, I am not a huge fan of because I don't necessarily like characters that are like very fancy and more fancy English, my good sire, type of shit. And he has that type. Oh, don't get me wrong, Duke is a phenomenal character. Like I love him, but like he doesn't really fit for me. I don't really like the fancy shit he's saying because it's too complicated for my foreigner ass. And so of course I understand every fancy shit he says, but like I'm not a huge fan of it. Rust is a disappointment. Actually, I'm gonna keep you in D, and I'm gonna keep Hila and Ethan in there because, well, they're fucking boring. Bodhi, boy oh boy, holy fucking shit! Do I really need to say anything about Bodhi? Josh Len, I think that was his name, has he plays two characters. He's the face of Hoxton, but he's the voice of Bodhi. And Bodhi, my fucking god, he's a great character. I love him so much. He has this surfer dude accent that's just like calming, but at the same time, he's very mindful and he's very reckless. It's like whenever shit is calm, he's just like, "Yeah, bruh, let me tell you this one story and shit." Like that's the type of person he is. Like he's this laid back type of person that is very calming, but at the same time, he's this reckless surfer dude that is just wants to fucking he wants to cause the most destructive shit in human history, and he hates tasers, which he gets a bonus points for that. And he's my number one main character, so I can be a little bit biased. Who do we have? Bonnie is. I'm putting you the highest A. Put you there. Bonnie is an underrated character that I see a lot of people don't really talk about too much. She is this like 190 or I don't know how tall she is, but she's this tall Scottish alcoholic and gambler that has the capability of ripping a man's head with no issue whatsoever. This woman is so strong that one punch is enough to send a person back to fucking Timbuktu. But the Scottish accent is just perfect. Like everything about her is just great. It's like you can sometimes see her struggling to say something because of her alcoholic behavior. And so like she's just a funny character. Like there's so many lines where she sometimes struggles to say something because she's most likely drunk, and occasionally she's just like this reckless woman that is gonna rip your head off easily. Like she's very loud, and she's like this fearless woman that doesn't back down at any cost. Like she will go in without any second thought whatsoever, and I like her. The Scottish accent and everything about her is just absolutely phenomenal. Dragon, Dragon is great. That's all I can say about him. There's really not much else to say about him other than the fact that he's great. The voice actor, I can tell that he puts so much love into the character. The fact that he sometimes speaks in Croatian, which I actually do sometimes understand. I'm not Croatian, by the way, just to let y'all know. But I can sometimes actually genuinely understand what he's saying in Croatian. And the fact that he's even mixing and mixing both English and Croatian is incredible. He has a perfect voice for a perfect bank robber. It's just like, he's such a great character overall that a lot of people don't really look at too much. It's like whenever I see a dragon player, it fills me with joy because of, well, he's a really underrated character that a lot of people should maybe look into. Joy Joy had a lot of potential, but like she's poorly executed, mainly because of the fact that I don't remember when Joy was released. I think it was like somewhere in 20, no, could it be 2018? I'm not really sure. And so like the way she kind of acts is like she tries to be this person that tries to be a teenager. She's like 21 in Payday 2, but at the same time she acts like a boomer. It's like the voice line she says, she tries to act like this cool teenager, but at the same time it's very cringy because whenever she eliminates a special enemy, she says, "Oh, I got rid of this enemy. That means I get like this amount of points." And so, and she's just very cringy in Payday 2. They drastically improved her in Payday 3. Don't get me wrong, but like in the second game, she's very poorly executed. It's like I understand what the Overkill was trying to do with her, but at the same time, just no. Let's talk about my boy John Wick. Jonathan Wick, aka the Boogeyman, the Baba Yaga, who knows what else type of name he has. He's decent. He's above average. He's serious, he's calm, he's somewhat quiet, and that's it. There's not much else to talk about him. Although it's kind of sad that we don't really have the perfect face of Keanu Reeves, but at the same time I can understand because of, well, perhaps it costs a lot of money. And so, there's really not much else to talk about him. He's just there. He's above average. He's a good character. He does his thing, and that's it. I like him. Now, we get to the part where I'm going to be getting a lot of pitchforks raised at me. Fuck. Fucking. Let's see. No, not above. Fuck. At the row below. There we go. Fuck. Excuse me. Get rid of. Delete the row, and then rename this to F, and then this one back to D. Put these two there, and Jacket is staying there. And where the fuck did I put Sydney? There you are. Sydney is everybody's #1 favorite character of all time. How do I know this? Because every time I host a lobby, there's always a Sydney player in my fucking game that uses the same exact build and the same exact weapons at the same time, which is very boring. And so, don't get me wrong, Sydney is cool and interesting. Her voice is great, but sometimes she's like sometimes she's just too loud to the point where I actually tell her to shut the fuck up. It's like, I appreciate a character that is loud, but don't be obnoxiously loud for the love of God. I like a reckless person, but not to the point where they become like very obnoxious. And like Sydney is one of those type of characters. She has a great design. Like her mask and her outfit is incredibly well. The voice actress did a fantastic job, but I don't really like it that much. But I understand why a lot of people like her. And so I don't really necessarily say that I hate her, but I somewhat like her, but at the same time she's really not my favorite. And now let's talk about the one thing that where everyone is going to be fucking mad at me. I do not like Jacket. I don't like him whatsoever. Look, I understand the concept of a person using a tape recorder is a cool idea, but once you hear all the voice lines, it's going to get very annoying. Jacket doesn't have a lot of voice lines. I want you to understand this. He's constantly going to say arms outstretched, arms outstretched. He's constantly saying the same one voice line, and somehow people don't get annoyed by it. I'm genuinely surprised. It's like, sure, he's cool. I really like the idea of him using a tape recorder to communicate, but at the same time, like, he's just constantly saying the same one voice line at all the time. Like, there's no variance to it. Of course, you could say, oh, well, there's mods to change it, and I'm like, I don't use mods. I used to use mods, but I don't use them anymore. And so, Jacket is cool, but once you listen to his voice lines, eventually it's going to get very annoying. Just hearing the same voice, or like the same one-liner, again and again and again and again. I understand why people like him, but at the same time, it's just, good fucking lord, bro. Just, no. You can put your fucking pitchforks down, you pricks. Thank you very much. I understand that all of you are most likely on your fucking chairs, ready to pounce on me with a goddamn machete at the back of your pocket. But these are my opinion. You can say what the fuck you want. You can put Bodhi in D or whatever the fuck. But this is just my opinion. On S tier, these are just basically characters that I feel like are perfect, and A characters are like heisters that are like almost perfect, but have their own little downsides here and there. B is just your typical middle ground, like they're just average for me especially. And so the C tier are just like below average that I don't like. D, and then you have these fuckers down here. I'm not gonna talk about Russ because he's very fucking boring. He sounds depressed constantly. And then there's these two fuckers. And that's pretty much it. This video is probably not gonna have that much editing process, so whatever. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. I don't know when the next video on the Payday 3 review is gonna come out, so please forgive me on that because I'm constantly dealing with both school and trying to get my driver's license. And so I don't really know when I'll be able to release the video. So please bear with me. And that's it. That's all I can say so far. Have a great day, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.